Special shout out to my guys, Mr. Pragmatic, Keith Smith, Clifford Henry, Reggie Ford, Mike Harrison. Thank you guys for the contribution and the donations that you have made to enhance this channel. I want to say thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I'm looking forward to more people donating to this channel. There's a thanks button, or a thanks icon rather, that you could click on right below where it says like, dislike, and then you see the thanks button. You can also make a contribution to enhance the audio and visual quality of this channel. And also my Cash App is right on your screen, so feel free to make a donation at your leisure. And I want to thank you and tell you that I appreciate you all in advance. Let's talk about Gervonta Tank Davis real quick. As we know, Tank Davis has a fight coming up this weekend in Washington, D.C., where he'll be taking on Hector Garcia, defending his WBA World Boxing Association title. Obviously, reports already surfaced that Gervonta Tank Davis was arrested recently, and he was charged with domestic battery with the intent to injure and cause bodily harm. He has been released on $1,000 bail. We all know this already, right? This allegedly occurred at his home in Florida. This is the second time that a domestic violence charge have been levied against Tank Davis. Remember, nearly 2 years ago at the celebrity basketball game, where Tank Davis grabbed the mother of his child, I don't know if it was by her chain or by her jacket, and pulled her into the dressing room area away from the cameras and off of the basketball court where she was sitting at. That case was dismissed, and now here we are again with another affidavit attached to Tank Davis's name with regards to domestic violence, where he allegedly, I guess, struck his child and or struck the mother of his child and at his home in Florida. And the thing about it is that there's been a lot of media outlets circulating the post of that woman, the mother of his daughter, who said that she lied about the allegations and that she made it up, and that Tank never put his hands on her or harmed her in any way. She stated that she called law enforcement or contacted 911, I guess because she was in her emotions or in her feelings because they were having an argument. Let me say this, and 98% of my demographic are men, so that's why I'm using this opportunity to say this. When you as a man, whether you have a child with that woman or not, when you are in an argument that escalates to a domestic violence situation, when I say escalate, it does not have to be physical. Anytime both parties are yelling at each other, screaming at each other, insulting each other, berating each other, provoking each other, that's a form of domestic violence. If it escalates further than that, where the woman is physically assaulting you, or if you are getting these feelings or emotions to defend yourself as a man and or put your hands on a woman in an inappropriate manner, let me encourage you right now. Domestic violence is toxic and dysfunctional, okay? And let me include another equation. It is also traumatic for you, for the woman, and if you have other parties involved, including children. It is traumatic for all parties involved, okay? And I recommend, listen and hear me clearly, men. I recommend that you initiate the process of involving law enforcement. That's right. Yeah, I said it. If you are in an environment that will escalate to domestic violence and you are not emotionally stable enough to remove yourself, or if you physically are unable to remove yourself whether you reside there and you don't have nowhere else to go right away, regardless of the fact, I encourage you to initiate making contact with law enforcement to involve them. Do not take matters in your own hands. Men, hear me and hear me clearly. Now, I know there are going to be some men that might hear me say this and think to themselves, I'm not no punk. I'm not no coward. I'm not no sucker. I'm not getting law enforcement involved because of a woman. I can handle it on my own. I am here to tell you that that is the immature way of thinking. Okay? You cannot handle it on your own. Why? Because anytime domestic violence is involved in your relationship, I can assure you that once law enforcement get involved, you will not appear as the victim, even if you are the victim. Okay? So I just wanted to encourage everyone, and we're going to get back to the Tank situation, but I feel like I'm obligated to speak on that part. Let me tell you why I feel like I'm strongly obligated. Because within the beginning of 2022, I have founded and started a nonprofit organization called Dads Overcoming Losses, Living Above Reproach. If you condense the name, you'll come up with the acronym DOLLAR, D-O-L-L-A-R, Incorporated. And one of the programs that we are building to help fathers all across this country is domestic violence prevention, okay? Providing resources and strategies to prevent a domestic violent encounter with the mother or the mothers of your child and or children, okay? So please, I encourage you men to initiate involving law enforcement so that you can be safe and remove yourself out of the equation, because that relationship is toxic and is dysfunctional. And on a more personal note, anytime domestic violence is involved in any relationship with a woman, I'm assuring you right now that relationship is over. I just wanted to point that out. Back to Tank Davis. 85% of boxing is mental. 15% of boxing is physical. Tank Davis has physically defeated every fighter that he has stepped into the ring with because he's undefeated. But remember, 85% of boxing is mental. And so during this training camp, and obviously when he gets into the ring, all of his mental functionalities, all of his mental capabilities, all of his mental stresses, if he's not focused, will not be on the right track. Okay? So we're praying for Tank Davis. We're riding with him. We're riding with Tank Davis, especially if he did not physically harm the mother of his child. We are riding with him on this one if this woman is accurate and she's being honest by her lying. Okay? The bottom line is this. We will see if Tank Davis will be focused in his fight against Hector Garcia this Saturday. I wanted to, also point out that there is a rule that might affect Tank Davis in the near future. And those rules are from the WBA, World Boxing Association, which he is the champion of. And I wanted us to read those rules together from their own rules of the WBA. And class, y'all know how I do. When we read together in unison so that we all can be on the same page. This is from the rules of World Boxing Association under the paragraph number 27, where it is titled, Title Vacation and or Removal of Recognition. Come on, class. Read with me. A boxer's title, status, or recognition may be lost, removed, or vacated for any of the following reasons. A, loss in a bout, see Rule C.15. B, violation of association rules. Or C, suspension, charges, or criminal conduct alleged or found by a national, state, or provincial agency. As we know, Tank Davis was released after being arrested on a $1,000 bond. So he has been charged. This criminal conduct of domestic violence has been alleged. Okay? So the rules does not say that a fighter or a boxer must be convicted to have their title vacated. No. All you have to do is be charged. All it has to be is a criminal conduct being alleged in the case right here of Tank Davis. So we hope that this situation with Tank Davis is resolved and will be resolved legally, and that he won't have to vacate or be stripped of his title by the WBA.